For North Carolinians, that savings benchmark is just shy of $935,000. Down in South Carolina, nearly $850,000 in savings.
All right, joining us now, our chief business correspondent, Taylor Young, to make sense of these numbers. Taylor, these numbers, a little bit eye-opening for people who are probably planning for retirement.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people tend to have this kind of general idea of how much they need in order to retire, but these numbers clearly put a definite price tag on it, right? And just from looking at those numbers, you can see where you decide you want to retire really needs to be taken into consideration. I mean, if you look at the cheapest state to retire in Oklahoma and then compare it to the most expensive, Hawaii, that's a $1.5 million difference. So it's pretty much saying where you decide to retire is just as important as how much money you have saved.
So why have I guess the target savings, whatever it used to be,
Yeah.
now we're looking at close to $1 million. Why is that rising?
Yeah, so we're looking at it at doubling since the year 2000. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, I mean, higher costs of living. I mean, housing, insurance, everyday costs that in a lot of areas have risen faster than the rate of inflation. But also on top of that, people are living longer. Lifespan.
Sorry. Yeah, that is inflation. So not to be rude, but the cost of goods going up is inflation, not necessarily has grown. Well, that is true. It has grown faster than the rate of inflation, but it's all inflation. The rate is typically, the Feds try to keep it around 2%. That's like a healthy economy where things are growing and you're producing all those kind of fun things and gross domestic product, all that kind of fun stuff. But some of these goods are rising faster. And obviously since 2000, a lot of you may be like, oh, wow, that was just recent. To be honest with you, that's a quarter of a century ago. So a quarter of a century, right? 1/4 of 100 years ago, that was the price. And yes, things are on the rise and we do need to make adjustments. I love what she said, that where you retire is just as important as how much money that you have. And I definitely understand that, money and, your retirement in New York is going to be a lot different than yours in Oklahoma or, some small town in Louisiana somewhere. So those are definitely things that you need to consider. And once again, access to the things that you do enjoy. Is it worth it? Is it worth the high property taxes to be somewhere where there's a stadium and a coliseum and there's concerts every weekend and wonderful restaurants? Or is it better to retire somewhere where it may be a little bit more quiet, but you could take those vacations, you could spend the week, go to those concerts, enjoy that time, but not have to pay those costs to live in those areas, but just enjoy them and go back to where you're at. Things are more expensive, and that's just a fact. Things are more expensive and things are going to be more expensive in the future. So to think that for some reason that the economy is going to change or our finances are going to change where things are going to get cheaper in the future is not very